A confidence interval gives, here's what it gives you. It's going to give plausible values. That's what we call plausible values. For the value of some unknown parameter. Hey, what's a parameter again? What's a parameter?
P.
It's the P in our case, but it's also our population value. It's the population value. So we don't know the population value, so we create a confidence interval which gives us plausible values for that population value. And here's what's going to happen now. Once you create that confidence interval, you can make decisions based off of it. And therefore, we can make decisions about a stated or it's what we call a hypothesized value. A hypothesized value. And hypothesized value is the believed to be true parameter. So whatever's believed to be true, we can make decisions based on that now. Based on whether it's either going to do one of two things. It's going to lie in the interval or it won't lie in the interval. If it lies in the interval, that means the claim that's being made is true. If it doesn't lie in the interval, that means the claim that's being made is false. I got that? Because that interval gives us possible values, which means if it's inside those possible values, we're okay. If it's not inside those possible values, we don't believe it. Here's an example. This says, the mayor of a small city has suggested that the state locate a new prison there, arguing that the construction project and resulting jobs will be good for the local economy. A total of 183 residents show up for a public hearing on the proposal, and show of hands finds only 31 in favor of the prison project. Now, city council will only consider the measure if there's a chance that 20% of the community will be in favor of the new jail. Based on the results, what can the city council conclude at the 95% confidence level? So we're going to make do we know the true proportion of people that actually want the jail or don't want the jail there?
Yes.
No, do we actually know do we know the true proportion? No, we don't. We have a sample of people, right? How many people actually do we have in our sample?
183.
We have 183 people that showed up to a meeting, right? And out of this 183, how many were in favor?
31.
They're only going to consider it if what? There's a 20% chance that the community will be in favor. Everybody got that? So yesterday we talked about making a confidence interval. Here's how we're going to do this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to define what P is. What is the true proportion? What am I actually interested in?
Favor of the jail.
So the true proportion is the true proportion of the community that will favor the jail. So here's how I started. It's the true proportion of the community. Define P, which is the true proportion of the community that will favor the jail. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to find P hat. What is P hat equal to here? And how do you find P hat? P hat is equal to the what? What does P hat stand for? Yes, X over N. It's a sample proportion. And our X is the number of people who actually favor the jail, which is what? Out of how many total people? 183. So what's that equal to? Let's go and calculate that. 31 divided by 183 is 0.1693. So we'll say 0.169. 0.169 favor the jail. What proportion of people do not favor the jail then in that sample?
The rest of them.
Which would be, how would you find the rest of them?
1 minus that.
1 minus that. What do we call 1 minus that? That's Q hat. Q hat is equal to 1 minus 0.169. And that's equal to 0.831. How did I get 0.831? 1 minus 0.169. Good. Now, to construct the interval, do you remember to construct the interval? We want to find the 95% confidence interval. In order to find the 95% confidence interval, what else do I have to find here? 95% have to find the Z star, the C star here. Remember that? So the Z star for that, draw a curve. How much is on the inside? 95% on the inside, right? How much is on the outside? How much on the outside? 95% on the inside. How much is on the outside? 5%, but you have to split it up how? Good. It's 2.5 and 2.5 to both sides. We're calculating up to this value. So we're calculating the area up to this value right here. So it's 95 plus what? 2.5. and we do inverse norm in our calculator. So second, pressure Varsky, inverse norm, 0.975. Which gives me a Z star of what? 1.96. The interval, to write the interval is this, is P hat plus or minus Z star times P hat Q hat divided by N. That's the actual interval. P hat plus or minus Z star P hat Q hat divided by N. Do I have all this stuff available to me right here?
Yes.
Let's plug it in then. So plugging in what we know P hat is what? 0.169 plus or minus. Z star is 1.96. The square root of P hat, 0.169. Q hat, 0.831. What is N? 183. Hey, once you have it all plugged in, once we have it all plugged in, we go to our calculators now. Do you understand that? You don't have to do any other math with this, all right? Go to your calculator, let your calculator do the rest of the work. And by that, I mean this. Go to your calculators and do the test that I showed you yesterday. How do I get to that test? Stat, test. And what letter is it? A. One proportion to the interval. We know the X is what value? 31. What is the N? And what's your confidence level? 0.95. And it tells you that your bounds of this interval are going to be from, I think, 0.115 to 0.22. Yeah, round up. 0.224 here. Now, go back and answer the question, which was what? The city council only considered the measure of what? There's a chance that 20% of the community will be in favor of this new jail. Based on the results, what can the city conclude at the 95% confidence level? So based on these results, or based on this interval, is 20% a plausible value or a possible value?
Yes.
Yes. Why is 20% a plausible value? So we're going to say this. City council should consider the measure. City council should consider the measure. Why? Because 20% is inside the interval.